Thank you for tuning in to FYP Reloaded. This episode is a major topic, and most fear war against the citizens in America due to immigration. On June 6th and 7th, 2025, Los Angeles erupted into chaos after sweeping ICE raids across multiple sites, including Home Depot and apparel warehouses, resulting in at least 44 arrests, including a high-profile labor leader, David Huerta. Federal agents, backed by riot gear and tear gas, facing off against protesters in the heart of the city. By June 7th, President Trump has ordered 2,000 National Guard troops into the region under federal authority to suppress growing unrest.
Here at a business called Ambiance.
Meanwhile, in Minneapolis on June 3rd, a heavily armed federal task force boxed in a taco shop in a Latino neighborhood. Though allegedly targeting criminal activity, not immigration, images circulating online sparked local outrage. Hundreds poured into the streets demanding answers and transparency.
Los Angeles, California is undergoing mass deportation operations, just not from federal ICE agents, but from different agencies. Absolutely chaotic. They're on the streets with militarized vehicles, gear, flashbangs. Yes, they're not going after criminal operations. They're going after people in workplaces, rounding up 60 plus individuals, and they expect to walk out free and clean out of the community. The community has a right to protest the people in their community, the people that don't have a voice. Yes, it's chaotic. There's retaliation going on. There's a lot of violence. I don't agree with violence, but who does? But what is the appropriate response when who caused all of this was these mass deportation operations? And you're going to do it in a sanctuary city such as Los Angeles. Doesn't make any sense, does it? And I just want to make this clear for the people in the back that have ears but don't choose to listen. They're not targeting criminals. They're going to people's workplaces, construction sites, people in due process, people that their intent was to go through the process. They're arresting people coming out of their court proceedings. That doesn't make any sense. How can you break apart families, children? That's absolutely sad. I don't know how these federal ICE agents or these governments could sleep at night after they just heard cries of families being broken apart. It can't be me. That's all I gotta say. Just like my shirt says, unity, we the people gotta unite. Whether you're black, Mexican, El Salvadorian, Puerto Rican, so on, we gotta get together and continue the good fight. With that being said, guys, be safe out there. Like this video, comment, be respectful, and as always, follow me.
I can't handle this, y'all. This is crazy, yo. I didn't think this was about to affect me like this. But, our neighbor's school, y'all know I work at a school. Fuck. Our neighbor in school, I think it's Gratas, I don't know how to say it. It's Gratas or something like that. They were having their graduation. And there's helicopters in the sky. Most of these schools are... Fuck, yo. Most of these schools are predominantly Hispanic. Most of these schools are predominantly Hispanic. Gratas, I believe elementary, was having their graduation. And all of a sudden, a bunch of parents have to run out because ISIS is there. This is the story that I'm hearing. And, our school goes on lockdown. Our principal, tells us it's a drill, but we know it's not a drill. And, I had to come outside. It's my break. We kind of we got like off of a soft lockdown. And, parents had to run out because they don't have papers, and they had to leave their kids because the kids do. What type of shit is this, yo? And then kids are freaking grabbing teachers and crying on their leg because they don't know if they're about to see their parents when they get home. What the fuck is this? And we voted for this shit? 15 people just got picked up on Wilshire at the Home Depot. On Wilshire. Yo. Man, Oh my God. This is not right. This is not right, yo.
I'm disgusted that I have to deal with this on graduation and see one of my greatest friends be taken away for no reason.
An 18-year-old Milford High School student was detained by U.S. Immigration and Customs Enforcement officials. He's a junior at Milford High School. The boys' volleyball coach tells me he got a text before 8:30 Saturday morning from a student who was there when ICE took him away. They were driving to practice together when they got pulled over. ICE agents told the two other students in the car that they were let go because they were minors, according to the coach.
I was sitting there thinking, this can't be happening. It's one thing to see things happening in the world, and then it's another thing to have them directly impact the people that you work with and care for on a daily basis.
The police chief confirmed he's aware that the teenager was detained and it's something he's looking into, but the department was not involved.
Honestly, I'm feeling fed up. I'm kind of really upset that this happened to somebody that is so well loved by our community, somebody that would never do anything of the wrong. He's honestly an amazing person.
So now we know ICE's tactic. ICE is going to start raiding different sanctuary cities, and they're going to be met with citizens coming up against them in protest. That's where they're going to call for help. Similar to what we saw tonight in downtown Los Angeles, ICE got themselves in a bit of a pickle. They started to round up people in their normal raid fashion. They got blocked in. They couldn't get themselves out. Citizens had them backed up into this sort of corner store, and they had to call in for help. That's when SWAT came in, the FBI, and now we've got downtown LA police trying to move people out of the downtown central area. This is the strategy. Instead of thinking, oh, sanctuary cities, they're not going to help us round up and raid all of these different facilities and different places that we can round up people for ICE. No, they're going to go in there with limited resources in sanctuary cities, and they're going to try to do their raids. They're going to be met with citizens that are protesting them. They're going to get barricaded in, and then they're going to call, please, 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 help us, we need help getting out because the citizens have surrounded us. And that's when they're going to get the help from the police departments in those sanctuary cities. Instead of the sanctuary cities not assisting ICE, they're going to be called in after the fact because more and more people are going to start coming out against ICE and surrounding them. They're not going to be able to get out. That's their tactic is, we can't have them help us because they say they're not going to help us, but we can have them help us get out of the jam that we put ourselves in.
Important breaking news out of Los Angeles and Washington, D.C., because the President of the United States has ordered California National Guards to be deployed under his control using a process called federalization, therefore removing the federal guard from the control of the governor of California, where he usually is, and putting those troops under the direct control of the President of the United States. This time it has been deployed using two statutes, 10 U.S.C., Title 10 of the United States Code, and the Insurrection Act. These two statutes have allowed the President of the United States to deploy National Guard forces in the Los Angeles area in connection with a number of incidents that have been called an insurrection by the White House, a number of incidents in connection with law enforcement activities by ICE. This is a very unique situation and circumstance. To give you an idea, the last time the National Guard was deployed under the Insurrection Act was in 1992, once again in California by President Bush at the time during the LA riots. Now, I'm going to do a separate video regarding the legality or the potential legal and statutory consequences of this decision by the President of the United States. It's a fairly complex situation, but for right now, we know that 2,000 troops have been deployed in Los Angeles or are about to be deployed in Los Angeles. This has been confirmed also by Governor Newsom, who had stated that his law enforcement had the situation under control, and therefore there was no need for deployment of National Guard troops. This is certainly an important escalation, not just in the instances of civil disobedience that have been occurring in Los Angeles in connection to ICE raids, but it's also an important escalation of the feud, the battle that has been happening between the White House and the governor of California, Governor Newsom. We'll have to see how this plays out. It's certainly not good news for anybody, really. But for right now, what we know is that up to 2,000 troops will be deployed in the streets of Los Angeles.
It is so sad to see what people are enduring dealing with ICE. ICE agents are actually in military uniforms and attacking protesters. And ICE is not going after criminals. They're going to people's jobs like Home Depot. Y'all got to check these clips out. It's just wild.
Yeah, this is brand new, motherfucker. I'm sure your mama starved in the past. That's why she came here. Like all these other people have, to look for a better life. I can see the fucking shame in your fucked up face, puto. I see the shame in you. Go tell your mama how you proud of rallying people and taking them in. What crime did they make? What crime did they commit? Nothing. It's the defenseless people. Look at you, you're darker than I am, darker than me. But I'm sure you're proud. You're not supposed to be here either. You should be in the van. Or fulano, puto, because you didn't have the balls to stand up for your people.
This is an outrage, and this is so sad. And how can you be an ICE agent and have the heart of taking parents away from their kids away from their parents?
People should pay attention to how all of this is going to play out. And a lot more people should speak on it as well. What this regime is going to do, what they are going to do in order to try and convince the masses that they are in the right by snatching people up out of their jobs, from their homes, or how off the streets like we saw today in downtown Los Angeles. What they are going to do is they are going to show up to these liberal cities. They are only going to be showing up to Minneapolis, Los Angeles, Chicago. They're going to show up to cities where they know that their base will get excited to see ICE running the streets. These goons, these people who are not following the law, despite how much they say they are federal agents, they're not following the law. These goons are going to roll through these cities in tanks, roll through these cities in military gear. And when people stand up to defend their communities, because that is what's happening, don't ever forget, it is the regime, it is the people in the Oval Office, it is the government who is being the aggressor. When people decide to stand up and defend their communities, this is when they will call for more help, and they will gaslight, and they will say that, look how all of these democratic cities or these sanctuary cities or these people, look how far they will go to protect criminals in this country. But I am telling you now, that is not what is happening. I live in California. I don't live far from downtown Los Angeles. I know the streets. I know the areas where they are rolling these tanks through. These are normal people, just like you and me. They did not run into any criminal gatherings. They did not run into any cartel meetings. They ran into corner stores. They ran into homes. They ran into birthday parties. They are not protecting America. They are not protecting the citizens. They are profiling. They are racially profiling Hispanic people and grabbing them off the streets and then telling you at home that this is a mandate. This is something that you voted for. But it is not what you voted for. It is not what any of us voted for. This is absolutely wrong. And like I said, pay attention to the way they are going about conducting these raids, the way they are going about abusing American citizens. Because if you think it's going to stop in these liberal cities, if you think it's going to stop in these blue states, you are sadly mistaken. they will go for everybody who allows them to keep acting the way that they are acting.
Like I said last night, guys, these wannabe military boys that cover their face go into places of work and take these people. Fuck them. What happened in Los Angeles last night was horrifying, but also a little bit hopeful because the community showed the out. And all of you little in the comments last night, you bootlickers. That's all you are bootlickers. Guess what? You can take every undocumented person out of this country. That will not save you from being a miserable, miserable human being. And since maybe you only understand Christian verses, why don't you take a look at Matthew 34 through 40? Let me know what Jesus would think about this treatment. You losers. Losers.
Straight to the people. Why don't you go do that with the people that are doing wrong?
ICE raids in LA are getting huge traction right now live on TikTok as people are protesting in the streets, military helicopters, news helicopters hovering over everywhere. And it's getting to the point where it's about to either get violent or there's going to be a huge shift in what ICE is allowed to do. And it's a beautiful thing to see so many people coming out and not allowing this takeover to happen. ICE is the modern day Gestapo, and it is not going to happen again. And I'm proud of people. I really am. So if you're not watching, try to find some live TikTokers right now because I'm sure they could use all the support they can get. And it's important to keep an eye out for this as it happens live so that you know, and we know, and we all know what's going on.
I'm here. You could have stopped that.
How did you know this was happening?
Reddit.
Stop this man!
Fucking Nazis! Fuck you!
You! Coming the fuck up! Fuck you!
This is a message for Gavin Newsom and Gavin Newsom only. If you're not Gavin Newsom, you can totally hang out. I'm not your mom, but this is for Gavin Newsom. Gavin, where the fuck are you? Because this is Los Angeles right now. Has been Los Angeles for the past 24 hours. There's a literal war on our streets and not a peep out of you. I checked Blue Sky. On one account, you're barely posting. I checked Instagram. Not a word. I checked TikTok. Nothing. As your constituent, I want to know where the fuck you are. And I get it, you're not going to be governor of the state much longer. But you are the governor now. And I voted for you. Granted, there weren't a lot of choices. Undocumented migrants are the backbone of our society here in California. And I would argue in the entire United States. So the fact that you're not doing is really pissing me off. And I'm not the only one. Hell, I remember how you treated the unhoused people here in Los Angeles. And seriously, bro, if you are planning on making a bid to run for president, I will make it my life's mission to see that you are not elected. And again, I am not alone. So yeah, buddy.
This is downtown Los Angeles, outside of a Home Depot in Paramount, California. It's not some war-torn country across the globe. It's not some faraway land. It's right here in America. Citizens fighting against unnamed, masked, plainclothes agents, calling themselves ICE. These are tanks and other armored vehicles being brought into Washington, D.C. by way of train for a military parade that's going to be hosted by our president. Military parades in the Capitol and open warfare in the streets. These are the scenes that you've watched on TV from the comfort of your home happening in faraway lands as we decry their leaders as dictators and authoritarians. As we scream, that is a country that needs a dose of democracy and the freedom eagle from America to fly in and save them. But that description now is not a scene on your TV. That country is not across the ocean. That country is not some concept. It's not people that don't look like you or sound like you or speak your language or pray to your God. It's us. It's America. Throughout history, when democracies have fallen and empires have collapsed, the people did not know when exactly it happened until it was too late. Listen to me. America has fallen. I don't know what happens next. But if you're still thinking that maybe America will survive Trump and his regime, it already hasn't.
The LA ICE raids are weird because wasn't California literally Mexico at one point? Like it was literally Mexico. That's just what it was at one point. And I know people are going to be like, oh, well, it's not Mexico anymore. Right, but just because you guys move an imaginary line of a border and say that this is where people can and can't be, doesn't mean that everyone just moved with that border. First of all. Second of all, borders are made up and they're not real and it's an illusion. It's literally an imaginary line drawn to say you can be here, but you can't be here because we own this land, but nobody really owns the land on this world. Like who actually owns the land for real? Like think about that. Like there's actually no ownership of the land itself because we're human beings. Like it's just in our mind. It's a concept of we own this land. Animals don't think that way in nature, just naturally. Anyway, all the raids are honestly ridiculous, but I just keep thinking about the LA ones and how literally California was Mexico. And just because y'all put an imaginary border somewhere doesn't mean that the people moved with the imaginary border. Number one. Number two, it's just really getting to a crazy point because you guys know what you're doing by going to Southern California in the first place. And then it's like the other bottom half of California is literally Mexico to this day. So I don't understand that. It's not making sense to me at all.
Make the circle, make a circle. Get him up, let him get up, let him get up, let him get up. Fight back, nigga. Fight back, nigga. Fight.
This is not okay. You don't have to do this. She just lost her father. Her father's in that truck. Do you see that? Look at her. Look at her. Look at her. Her father's there. Her father is here. This is what you're doing. Look at this. You don't have to do this. You don't have to do this. You see, that's her father. That's her father. You don't have to do it. 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 You really don't. No, you don't. You
don't have to do it. You don't have to do it.
You're a cutie too. I'm shocked. I'm like, damn it, you shouldn't have been here, man. You shouldn't have been here. I don't even know these people, and these people are bawling because their family member, their dad was in there. You don't have to hurt people. You don't have to follow orders. This is your job. Don't show up tomorrow. You don't have to do it next week. Just don't do it. You don't have to do it. You're not a bad person. To you, right? It feels odd. Like, why are we doing this? Like, both of us. I wish I wasn't here. I hope you don't wish you were here, because this is not fun. This is not fun for you. You don't have to do it tomorrow. You don't have to follow orders. None of you are following orders. You don't have to follow these orders. You're good.
44 people were detained in a massive ICE raid right here in Los Angeles, outside Home Depot, at clothing shops downtown. Some were street vendors, food vendors. I'm all for stopping drug cartels. I support cracking down on violent criminals and terrorists. But this wasn't that. This was targeting working people. Immigrants, people selling tacos, picking up jobs outside Home Depot. Immigrants help build this country every single day. They grow our economy. They feed our families. Let's stop the drugs. Let's stop the violence. But don't come for food vendors. Don't raid our neighborhoods like this. This is not the America that we believe in.
ICE is in this bitch, bro. I swear to God. I swear to fucking God. They going crazy. No. There you go. They is out of here. Oh my God, bro.
All right, where are all my Americans who've been saying immigrants are stealing our jobs? Well, guess what? Now's your big moment. The jobs are open, folks, wide open. We need people in the fields to pick fruit, harvest vegetables, and keep our food supply moving. This is no joke. Farmers across the country are looking for hardworking people to step up. Long hours, the hot sun beating down on you, and good old-fashioned hard work. You said you wanted these jobs, right? Well, here they are. No one's in your way now. So if you've been sitting at home saying, oh, those immigrants are taking all the opportunities, guess what? The opportunity is knocking at your door. All you've got to do is answer. Lace up your boots, roll up your sleeves, and show us what you've got. Applications are open and the fields are waiting. This is your time to shine. Or maybe, just maybe, you weren't really serious about wanting those jobs. What's it going to be? Talk or action? The farms are calling. Don't keep them waiting. We are open. 24/7 for applications. And don't worry, we need a lot of people.
And something that's really been blowing me is I've seen Black people, African-American Black people down my TL talk about, oh, this ICE situation doesn't have anything to do with us. We don't have anything to do with that, y'all. We need to mind our business. How dare you? How dare you sit there in your slave descended skin and you say overturning the 14th Amendment has nothing to do with us. The 14th Amendment gave birthright citizenship. Who didn't have birthright citizenship before the amendment was put into place? Us. The 13th Amendment abolished slavery, but it didn't guarantee equal rights. So y'all are sitting here and saying, oh, this doesn't have anything to do with us. It doesn't have. What if they're working backwards? What if they're working backwards? What if it's 14, 13, 12, 2? Like, what the fuck is wrong with y'all? How dare you sit here and be comfortable with children in churches, hospitals, and at school being rounded up to go sit in a detention center for an unannounced amount of time, because that's how long it takes. The shit that they've written out, it says that aliens can be arrested and put in a detention center and they'll get out eventually, however long that may take. But they're also subject to labor. They're subject to sit in detention centers and perform free labor until they can get out. What does that sound like to y'all? Who else sat in a little camp in somebody's backyard doing free labor? And you're talking about it don't have nothing to do with us. And you're okay with that. That's crazy. It's crazy that you can watch the same atrocities that were inflicted onto our ancestors. It's crazy you can watch that happen to somebody else and just, that's disgusting. And you should be fucking embarrassed. You should.
Hey everyone, I just wanted to come on here and give y'all an update because it has been a few days. So for those of you who are like new to our story, my boyfriend got detained by ICE on the 27th of January. We live in Florida. He was in a Miami facility, but he has since been taken out of state. He's been taken to multiple states, and this has been a very traumatizing and trying situation for all of us. The one good thing about him being in the state that he currently is in is that he says that the officers there are much more civilized. Something that really broke my heart that he said the other day was one of the guards asked him if he wanted to go eat. And I was like, babe, what do you mean? And he said, the whole process, the guards have been, very violent towards them and just treating them like they're not even people. So, yeah, that's pretty much where we're at. People are in the comments every day telling me, get a lawyer, get a lawyer. We're working on that. I appreciate the advice. We're working on that. Y'all ask me a lot of things and ask me why I'm not commenting back on some of the things that you say. This is a very sensitive thing, guys. This is a very sensitive thing. This is the government. I'm not going to comment back. I believe, his identity is a very sensitive thing as well. So, some people are like, oh, this is made up. She was single the other day. Do you think I post every part of my life on the internet? I don't post every part of my life on the internet. Y'all are getting a piece of my life that I'm choosing to share with you. So some of y'all are getting a little rowdy. I'm not a liar. This is not made up. And if I did make this up, I would be very sick in the head. So I just got on here to give y'all an update. He's in a different state. Yes, we're working on a lawyer. Yes, we're filing papers. We're doing everything we can to advocate for him. I am going on a trip. So you may see me post little things about the trip that I'm going on. But this was planned from a long time ago. So if you see that, you might perceive it she just decided to go on a trip while her man's being detained by ICE. No, baby, it was already paid for, and I can't let them tickets go. I had some stuff already pre-planned with my family, way before any of this even happened. Another thing I wanted to bring up before I get off this is things are getting so bad out here. They started handing these cards out at my church, bruh. They laminated these cards and are giving them to us and telling them, if we know anybody who is, currently working on their citizenship or might be undocumented, it just says, little things on here, I do not wish to speak with you, answer any questions, or sign any documents. It says, I don't give you permission to enter my home. I don't give you permission to search any of my belongings. I choose to exercise my constitutional right. So, on the back, it says, don't open the door, don't answer any questions, don't sign anything, give this card to an agent. So, people are adapting too. We living in some really crazy times, and they handing these out at the churches. That's how bad it's getting. So, I'm going to get off this, but I just want to say, if you have the luxury of being with your loved ones, please just hold your loved ones really tight. And everybody be blessed and stay safe out there. If you have any questions and you want me to read over this and tell you everything that it says, maybe you want to make them for people that live in your area, you might be, or anything like that, let me know, because I can post it what it says on the front and the back, so maybe people can duplicate it in their area and hand it out to people so that they can be educated. This is in English, but maybe people can make it in Espanol. And this was made by a lawyer. So a lawyer who goes to my church made this and had them laminated and gave them to everybody. So yeah, bye y'all.
Right now, across the U.S., immigrant detainees are sleeping on concrete floors, eating meals without tables, going without basic medical care, all in government custody. Let's talk about it. ICE detention centers are overcrowded and overwhelmed. At one center in Texas, women are forced to sleep on mats on the floor because there aren't enough beds. In New Mexico, 38 men share a space with only 18 chairs. And in Florida, people are being held in conference rooms with no toilets. This isn't just neglect, it's the system breaking down on purpose. The Trump administration expanded detention and gutted the watchdog offices that kept ICE in check. Now, those inside have nowhere to report abuse because the people who would have answered the phone don't work there anymore. Here's why this matters. Most people in detention haven't even committed a crime. Many qualify for release but are still being held in inhumane conditions. This is how Black and brown people get lost in system. Stripped of rights, stripped of dignity, and forgotten. History tells us this isn't new. From Japanese internment to post 9/11 detentions to the war on drugs, systems like this have always used security as a cover for dehumanization. But what's happening right now is a moral crisis. And the longer we stay quiet, the more invisible these people become. Detention is not supposed to mean abuse. So here's the question. Who's protecting the people inside when the government stops caring? Drop your thoughts in the comments and share this if you believe basic human rights should depend on your immigration status. My link tree is in my bio to follow me on all socials. Stay informed and stay safe.
Of course you have an Instagram.
Ever wonder what it looks like to go to war? This is what I wore. That's what I wore. Now, I want you to watch this video that my director of social media just sent me. This is in California. I just want you to watch it, and I want you to look at the difference between what I was wearing when I was deployed to another country on the other side of the world for an actual literal war and what these ICE agents are wearing in the streets of California. I want you to listen to the bang of a concussion grenade. I want you to see the smoke in the streets. I want you to understand that this is in the streets of California. This is in the United States of America. This is just unacceptable. Somebody needs to stand up to this government. My name's Kyle Gauck, and I'm running for the 2nd District in Connecticut for the U.S. House of Reps. We need the right people in office in the right places with the right backbone and the right vibrato to say something and stop this from ever happening again in this country. I believe that person is me. If you do too, please go to the link in my bio. Please, please, please donate to the campaign. It is a grassroots campaign funded by the people for the people. Literally for the people and no one else. We're not accepting corporate PAC money. We're not accepting AI PAC money. Okay? This is just you and me. And if you made it this far, as always, thank you. I love you. And we'll definitely talk soon. Oh, and also, please go to the Instagram. Kyle Gauck for Congress. Thanks.
There were well over 40, and in some reports, 80 people detained in militant-style ICE raids last night in Los Angeles. And, you know, it started as, well, we're going to go after the violent criminals. But then they started going to people's jobs and going after people who had no criminal background. Well, they should have done it the right way. They should have done it legally. So then they're going to places like courthouses and immigration offices where people are trying to do it the right way. And now we are in a situation where people are just being ripped away. You know, there's all these jokes and things like that about just go to Home Depot. You can get them there. Listen, they're targeting LA now. And here's the more underlying piece of it is California's economy supports so much of the government economy. And Governor Newsom is threatening to stop paying federal taxes because Trump is threatening to pull back support. And so it's just a game of tug of war, and lives of hardworking people are impacted. And you say, well, they should pay their taxes. Well, where do you think they're getting all the information about these people? Most of them pay taxes. Most of them have an EIN number. They don't get benefits. They just pay taxes and work their flippin' asses off. So that's where we're at today, folks. Another day, another bunch of bullshit. It's crazy.